Hello everyone, and welcome back. This is Super Revolution. Ming He calls out to Shu as he falls backwards. He reaches out his hand over the cliff as he sees Shu falling. Ming He starts to cry because he couldn't save him. The big beast puts his hand or something like that on Ming He's head. He looks around and sees the beast smiling and also not being aggressive anymore. Ming He puts his hand up to the beast's horn and thinks about Zhu. He questions if this is the path of survival. We then get a flashback of what Zhu said to Ming He. He then crunches his teeth together and says that he is sorry since he never realized. The commander then comes over to Ming He and puts her hand on his shoulder. Ming He looks over at Commander Luo and calls her name. He says that whoever is behind this incident, he is going to drag that person out. Luo tells him that he will do it and they believe in him. She then pulls him in and holds him while she starts to tear up. I don't know what about watching the main character cry, but it always gets me. Like seeing Ming He cry about Zhu just like hits a little deeper than it would when like, let's say Commander Lu cry about Zhu. You know what I mean? It's a little different. We switch over to the camping grounds and we see the beast laying on the ground while everyone is hopping on its back. Zhang tells everyone that they are all set and they are ready to depart. Ming He then crouches down and tells the beast to take them out the fog. So the beast starts to take them out of the fog. We switch over to the foothills and there are military people there. They are there to obtain intel from within the fog. Someone calls out and tells everyone not to enter the fog. Then the beast comes out of the fog and the guards are all on guard. We then see Ming He and the commander. She yells out to them and tells them that she is the commander of this training exercise. She tells them that the beast has been tamed. The people on the ground are happy since they are alive. The chief of security, Peng, smirks at the sight. The students start to get off the beast while Luo talks to the chief. She tells him that she was successful at bringing all 346 students back alive. The chief then questions if all the instructors came back. She tells them about the people who died but also who made it back alive. She bows her head and tells him that they gave their lives for this mission. They salute and say that they gave their lives to the greater good of their country. The vice chairman of the Nandu Institute, Meng, says that they will never forget their sacrifices. We switch over to the Nandu grounds and we see a person about to give a speech. It is a funeral of the heroes. They show pictures of the saviors of Nandu. Each of them should be remembered and looked up to. The people at the funeral should give them their attention as they send the saviors off. We then get a creepy look at someone laughing among the crowd. They are now going to list some of the students who did the most. The first person is anonymous. Next is Luo Qian. The next one is Liu. The next one is Li Jin. Next is Ming He. And the last one is Fang Nianrong. The person tells them that this disaster is just a taste of what could happen on the outside. This experience is what superheroes must deal with every day. The guy continues, but he just tells them thank you and good luck. Everyone starts to clap for the speech. We then switch over to Luo Qian in her home. She checks her phone and sees 6 things from Ming He. She then hears a call and gets all excited and nervous. Ming He is the caller and she picks up and answers him very joyfully. He tells her that he is downstairs and asks if it's okay for him to meet her in person. She says that the door is open. He then knocks on the door and she opens the door with a smile on her face. He tells her that he dropped by to see how her head was feeling. She tells him that she is feeling better and then tells him to have a seat. She then goes to get water for Ming He. She questions if that anonymous person was him, but Ming He tells her that it wasn't. She says that a lot of people saw Ming He running into the spider's nest. He tells her that he wasn't thinking right and he almost died to the widow. He says that it was because of Instructor Zhu that they were saved. She tells him that she remembers he is the one who saved her from the abyss. He tells her that maybe the Skull Widow made her see things. He then questions how he could even do anything like that since he is from the bottom of the barrel. He ended up spending a lot of sweat and blood just trying to get into the institute. Luo then gives Ming He a kiss on the cheek and says that she doesn't care about all of that. She thanks him for putting himself on the front lines. Hey, all I gotta say, that it's about time that we see anything going forward with their relationship. Luo Qian tells Ming He that he shouldn't take the kiss in a wrong way because she was just expressing her gratitude towards him. Ming He, with a blush face, says to her. We switch over to the training grounds and we see Fang Ling that Ming He sparred with before. She says that Ming He didn't show up again and he hasn't came in 2 weeks. They agreed to meet there, but she has been the only one that's shown up. Uncle Yuan says this is her first time getting stood up. She ends up getting mad and thinks of Ming He being the worst since he didn't even keep his promise. They have yet to decide a winner since it was an even match last time. Uncle Yuan tells her that there is a freshman award ceremony that day since they encountered something strange while they went to that training camp. She asked him if he has any insider information about it. He says that the information is unclear, but he is just wondering if Ming He is a freshman. He says that would explain the no-shows. She then gets loud, saying that there is no way a freshman is that strong. If that said freshman is a true freshman, she will go do a seaweed dance in the middle of the field. The guy laughs since she lost her last bet. She says that if Ming He doesn't show up next week, she will go find him herself. Uncle Yuan says that Ming He is a good sparring partner, but questions if she can find another partner. She then says that she isn't interested. We switch over to Luo Qian with a blushed face and she thinks to herself what she is doing. It was embarrassing, but they are already dating, so hopefully she wasn't being too excessive. See, what I don't understand about Luo Qian is why she hasn't approached Ming He about them dating. Like, hey, why haven't you been doing this? Aren't we dating? Hey, why aren't we doing this? Aren't we like together? Like something like that. Like, what is going on? We then see Ming He thinking that Luo Qian already has a boyfriend and all she was doing was expressing her gratitude. We switch back to the training grounds and we see Ming He. He remembers that he made that promise with the girl and they are supposed to meet at the training grounds every Wednesday. Today is Wednesday and he wonders if it's too late for him to show up. We then see Fang Ling and Uncle Yuan. They both walk up to Ming He and Uncle Yuan says that he finally showed up. Ming He says sorry since he was attending the award ceremony. Fang then questions if he is a freshman, which Ming He replies with a yes. Uncle Yuan then laughs at her since she lost another bet. He asked if she said that she was going to do a dance in the middle of the training grounds and then questions on which dance it was. Fang then gets mad and walks away saying bad words. Ming He questions if they are going to spar today, but she says no and she never wants to see him again. Uncle Yuan tells Ming He that Fang thought he was older than her. That's the reason she thought he was able to fight on equal footing with her. Fang didn't expect to be 2 years older than him. Ming He asked Uncle Yuan if she is a junior and he said yes. He then questions Ming He not knowing Fang Ling. He tells Ming He that he is surprised that he doesn't know her and then gives him his number. He tells Ming He that if he ever feels bored and is at the training grounds, he could give him a call and they will spar with him. She lacked strong opponents like him and then asked what his price is. Ming He is confused, but Uncle Yuan asked how much he wants for being a sparring partner. He asked if Ming He charged by the minute and he says he'll give him $10 a minute. Ming He is in shock, but Uncle Yuan takes it as him thinking that the price is not enough. He then tells Ming He that he will give him $1,000 every week if he spars with Fang once a week. Ming He instantly says that it's a deal and they will see each other next week. He says that it sounds good and then takes out a card and starts getting happy since he loves money. We switch over to the dorm room and Ming He is meditating. He is doing training against the Skull Widow, but he is getting smacked around. The widow spits acid at him, but then the goddess stops the simulation. She tells him that he needs to raise his rank in human standards. Based on that, he is only at a Moonglow rank. He knows that he isn't strong and thinks of the skeleton dragon. That dragon sees the Skull Widows as food. The dragon wasn't even the strongest, since there was another monster that turned the sky black. The remnants from the skin turned into scorpion fly nests. He thinks about Luo Qian already wounding the Skull Widow, and if she didn't, Ming He wouldn't have been able to kill it. He clenches his fist while saying that he still isn't strong enough. To the monsters he saw, he isn't even worth being called food for them. He wants to become stronger so he won't see anyone else die in front of him again. The goddess looks at Ming He and tells him that there is a limit to someone's growth even though he's been training for half a year. She tells him that if he wants to break through, he will most likely need help from supplements. He asked about the supplements and she tells him that she has been studying the human technology. The humans are smart since they dissect the monsters they kill and make things from it. Like the life drops, those are the best things humans have ever created. It can make an ordinary human become a superhuman. The low quality life drops will be useless to him though. The goddess then gives Ming He the life drop that he got from killing that Medusa looking monster. The life drop is done purifying and she tells him that this is a Violet Soul rank life drop. It could grant a person with the ability to disguise themselves. Ming He thinks that it is good but not good for someone like him. The goddess agrees with him and she tells him that any power obtained through life drops needs to be trained and familiarized with. Ming He says that he needs to focus on training the powers he has now. He says that he still needs to get his Red Sovereign talent. The goddess tells Ming He not to think about that one since he hasn't even mastered his Violet Soul talent. He still needs to train a lot more. She doesn't blame him since the ultimate soul art of his Violet Soul rank talent is enough to be put at the Sunblaze rank. His physical strength hasn't reached that rank, but his ultimate attack does, so it's fine. He questions how he could reach the Sunblaze rank quickly. The goddess tells him that the humans made a lot of things to increase one's strength. One of those items is liquid stardust. Ming He never knew about that, but the goddess tells him that he is only a freshman and is still learning. He agrees and he didn't know that much because money was a problem back then. The goddess shows Ming He a potion-looking thing and says that rich people use it. Since Ming He is a hard worker, it would be good for him. His current body can't intake a large amount of energy. She tells him that normal ways won't work efficiently, so getting that liquid stardust for someone like him would be good. Ming He says that he will buy it so he could get to the Sunblaze rank. The goddess tells him to sell the life drop. He then comes back to reality and gets a call from Peng. Peng called Ming He when he just finished his talk and training lesson. Ming He answers the phone and Peng says what's up to him. Ming He said he was just about to look for him and then questions where he could sell something valuable. Peng told him if he wants something easy, he could go to the Hunter's Hall. He would need to give it to a female there and she will help him sell it. Ming He then asked about wanting to buy something expensive and where he could go. Peng told him that he should hire a private hunter's assistant. Once that item goes on sale, they will get it for the right price. Ming He thinks that it's convenient, which it is. Peng asked if he wanted to get a drink with him and all the other people who passed the recruitment. Ming He told him that he can't since he is busy, but he will come next time. Pang was cool about him saying no and tells him if he has any other problems he could give him a call since he has a large network in Nandu. Ming He says thanks and then hangs up. We switch over to the Hunter's Hall. A person says that it's been boring since they haven't had any big customers lately. The two ladies at the front say that they can't even pay rent on how low the commission has been lately. They then see Ming He come into the Hunter's Hall with a trainee badge. The two girls think being his assistant is just going to be charity work and they should just ignore him. A blonde lady notices Ming He and comes up to him and asks what he needs assistance with. Her name is Jiang and she is a hunter's assistant. She asked for his hunter code so she could help him. He gives her his code and she sees that he is a Moonglow trainee. She tells him that he could rank up since he completed his last bounty. Ranking up will let him take higher bounty and commissions. Ming He says okay but tells her that he didn't come here for that. He pulls out the Violet Soul life drop and shows her. She is shocked and then questions if that is a real Violet Soul life drop. She looks at it carefully and understands that he wasn't lying. One of the girls that were sitting down jumped up and went straight over to Ming He. She tells him that Jiang is new to the Hunter's Hall. She is a gold hunter assistant and she's offering her assistance to him. Ming He tells her that he is fine with Jiang being his assistant. The lady then turns away with an annoyed look. Jiang tells Ming He thank you. He tells her that he isn't stupid and he had to stand and wait for a long time since they just ignored him. She tells him that she will contact a person who could take a closer look at the life drop and give him all the details about it. After they estimate its price, they will put it up for auction. He tells her that it's fine and then asked if he could get some help buying liquid stardust. She asked what purity does he want, but he is confused. She tells him to go with her to the VIP room so she could explain some more. So they went to the VIP room and she tells him that the appraisal is already done with the life drop. There will soon be a base price for it, but if he thinks that the price is too low, he could adjust it. He tells her that he will just go with her estimate. Jiang says that there has been a couple of batches of liquid stardust. The price of it will be around 900,000. She tells him that since the purity is high, it won't be cheap. That said purity level affects how long the liquid stardust will take to detoxify. She explains the purity and how no matter what they do, it will still have some toxins left in the liquid. Being as such, the liquid stardust can't be used in excess. If some were to overdose on liquid stardust, their body would be damaged. Ming He cries because how expensive it's going to be. Even if he wanted to overdose, he couldn't. Jiang tells him that the higher purity will have less toxins, so the body will detoxify it off faster. A high purity one will take around half a year for a normal person's body to detoxify it. That means he could use the liquid stardust every half a year. If Ming He does any high intense training, the time will decrease so he could take it sooner. He then asked about the low purity ones. Jiang tells him that it would take up to 3 to 4 years to fully detoxify it and it would be 400,000. The lowest purity one will take up to 10 years to detoxify it, but it will only cost 200,000. She says that there's also a chance of damaging their body. Ming He thinks about his body not getting enough nutrients to support his training. He would need to buy the highest if he wants to improve the fastest. The good thing is, every time he consumes the liquid stardust, there will be a big jump in his strength. He tells Jiang to keep an eye out for the highest purity one for him. She says okay and then hands him a business card. She will be his personal assistant in the future, so if he needs anything, he should just contact her. Finally, the appraiser came in and tells them that they have completed the appraisal. He says that the life drop is great and it could give the person the power to disguise. He says the base price will be 2 million. Ming He instantly gets excited and thinks that he will be rich since this is just the base price. Jiang asked if she could start to release the information, which Ming He agrees to. She tells him that the transaction also increases his points. After the 2 transactions, he could rank up again, although he has to take a strength test, but once that is done, he will become a Sunblaze rank hunter. He tells her that his strength hasn't reached that level, but it will soon. She then realizes that's why he needs the liquid stardust. He tells her to send any well-paid commissions to him, which she said sure to, and she will keep that in mind. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this video of Super Revolution.